again because I can barely hear you, please, because you know
No,
it's
no,
the noisy at the background. Yeah, so I want you to just
the
take that again.
IG, that is the Inspector General of Police, declared restriction of movement in Edo State that's supposed to take place from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That was conveyed by the first PRO Muyiwa Adejobi. So did the people of the state, did they adhere by that movement restriction? Did they comply with it?
Okay, are you talking about the security arrangement?
Yeah, I'm asking about compliance of movement restriction.
The movement restriction. You mean the movement restriction?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, earlier this morning, around 6:30 a.m. like that, you know, we saw people moving while soldiers, security operatives are stationed in vantage position at the ring road and other areas. But one thing we will find out that only those that have business with the elections were allowed to access.
Okay, since the network is not to our favor at this moment, so hopefully we will be linking up with Daily Fasom later as we are going on with the discussion. So now let's quickly take this break, and when we come back, we'll be linking up with more guests to stay with us.
According to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, 35,000 policemen and 8,060 security agencies will partake in Saturday's governorship election. This briefing by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Edo election is to reassure the people of the police neutrality after being criticized of being partisan.
Provide a level playing field for everybody. We will be politically neutral. We will be professional. We will enforce the laws strictly, firmly, but politely. We will hold people accountable when they infringe on the laws. We will make arrests where necessary and will ensure that those who go out of their way to break the laws don't go scot-free.
He warned those who have no business with the electioneering process to stay clear.
However, for those who are not accredited and who do not have rules that are sanctioned by the Electoral Act to play, I want to seize this opportunity to warn them to stay clear of the entire process.
Although the Edo people will not take the assurance by the police with a pinch of salt regarding the tension ahead of the election, but the people must also play their roles by keeping to the rules guiding elections and shunning all forms of violence. From Benin City, Daily Fast reporting for Galactic TV News.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now we have Jennifer Dafford joining us from Edo State. She is the Media and Communication Officer, Yaga Africa. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Edo Decide 2024 on Galaxy TV. I hope you can hear me now, because earlier I was asking about how is it going over there How is it like this morning for preparation for this 2024 Edo State election?
Okay, hello, good morning, and thank you for having me. If you can hear me, yes, so far we'll say that the preparation of INEX from our assessment and going out yesterday and even early this morning, that INEC are pretty much prepared for the elections. At the various local government offices yesterday, we saw that they were already deploying the non-sensitive materials, and the sensitive materials were on ground in most of the local government offices. INEC officials were waiting for political party agents and representatives to be present, to deploy. And by evening of yesterday, we understand that most of the sensitive materials have been deployed to the rack centers, and even this morning a lot of rack centers have already been activated. That means that staff are already leaving the rack centers to the different polling units. So to a very large degree, we are positive that INEC is prepared for the elections.
Okay, all right. So what about the use of technology? This will be the first election that INEC would be making use of technology, especially the BVAS. So what are your expectations for the technology at this time? Because in time past, we've been having this issue of maybe some of them not working, not connecting exactly to the IREF portal, because for some of the past elections, we were promised that the voting, as it is going from the BVAS, it is going to the portal directly. But that did not take place for the 2023 election. But for this time, are you expecting difference in that aspect?
Okay, I'm struggling to hear you again. It looks like I'm losing you, so I didn't fully get your question.
Okay, or I was talking about our use of technology by INEC, because in previous elections, especially for the presidential election in 2023, when voters in Nigeria were promised that as they are voting using the BVAS, it is going to be going directly to the portal, so there won't be any issue of vote manipulation. But that has not really worked out so well in the past. So what are your expectations for INEC's use of technology this time around for Edo State election?
Thank you for your question. One of the things that we have seen is that again, like I said during our assessment, is that the technology, the BVAS, is set up. The IREF is already a portal that has been set up, so definitely it's available and it's ready for use. However, one of the things that Young Africa noticed during the mock accreditation is that the results from the mock accreditation were not uploaded to the IREF. So as a result of that, but that was during the mock accreditation. But as far as preparations are concerned, and the BVAS that we saw on ground at the various local government offices, we're setting that INEC is able to upload. However, the other aspects or other factors that will determine seeing the upload or seeing those results from the polling unit on the IREF will be determined at the polling station. So we're waiting to see what the outcomes will be.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that. So far, what are your expectations for this election, and what are the challenges that you've seen so far that you think that maybe INEC or security officials need to work on so that we might get a smooth running election?
Really, which is why Yaga Africa is in Edo State at the moment. We have deployed 325 observers because we're expecting a process that is transparent, and the methodology which we use, which is the process result verification methodology, PRVT, is one that allows us to be able to sample polling units and tell which, and be able to access the quality of the results and the process of the elections. So we're hoping that this time around, the political actors, the INEC officials, that every other stakeholder, the security agents are going to all do their roles, because everything adds up to what we see, or how we term the results in the end. It's not only the voting. Of course, we have called on the citizens of Edo State to come out to peacefully cast their votes, and where possible to stay and watch the counting, and the sorting and counting of those votes at their various polling units in an orderly manner. So if these things are done, we expect that the election is going to go peacefully. Again, that is why Yaga Africa is here in Edo State, watching with with about 325 observers. We will be able to see we will be able to tell what the issues are, what the discrepancies are in real time as they come up. Right here we have our data clerks and our analysts who are receiving information from the field. So yes, this is our expectation really is that the people of Edo will come out and that their votes will count.
Okay, all right. We thank you so much for joining us this morning. Many thanks for being a part of Edo Decides 2024. Okay, all right. Now back to our correspondent, Dele Foster, who was giving us updates from the RAC Center. Good morning, Dele. Could you please go on with the update you were giving us earlier? Before the network got cut, you were talking about compliance with the movement restriction. Okay, do you need me to repeat the question? Okay, all right. I was asking you to continue with the update you were giving earlier. Before the network got cut, you were talking about restriction of movement and compliance. Okay, all right. I don't know if you can hear me, but could you please bring us up to date with what's going on over there at the RAC Center? And then you were also talking about a movement restriction and if there was compliance with it, because you were mentioning that there were already security agents on different sides of the road that was observed this morning, and just people taking election materials were the ones that were given free access to pass through the road. Could you please go on from there?
Yeah, actually, the movement, the restriction, the security agencies have been doing their parts. They've been playing their parts in ensuring that movements have been restricted. Like early this morning when we stepped out as early as 6 a.m., like that along the ring road in Oredo local government area, we see policemen and soldiers staying in strategic positions in ensuring that people that have no business in this election do not have their way. They will check you, they will ask who you are to identify yourself, and after that they will allow you to go. So the compliance has been okay, because some of the streets we've been to Ipobawa local government and in Oredo here, they've been really, restriction of movement has really taken place, because the police has been civil, meeting people one or the other to ensure that they go about their normal businesses without being harassed. The restriction of movement has really been adhered to, the compliance has been okay, but we'll still continue to follow it as the election continues. It's just too early to say if it's 100% compliance now, but at present, as I speak with you, at least the police have been trying to ensure that this has been really adhered to. Over to you.
At 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. So this is Edo Decides 2024. Democracy, they say, is a game of numbers, and the game will begin as Edo State people will begin to vote Hopefully by 9 a.m. we will be getting information from our correspondent live from scene, and we'll be giving analysis from our guest that will be here in the studio. Do stay with us. Join us again by 9 a.m. Goodbye for now.